If you fast forward a couple of years, I mean, today people hardly ever go to a bank branch, right? It's very expensive to keep those branches open, so for those that are still open. And there's a big opportunity for banks to reach their customers through this Metaverse experience.
Sure.
And to have that personal touch again, get back in touch with the customers. And I think that is really something that will take off over time eventually. And probably the fintechs are the first ones that are going to grab this opportunity.
Well, that makes sense, doesn't it? Yeah.
So our last interview, we spoke about the differences between Web 2.0 and Web 3.0, which I think is quite abstract, but the difference between Web 1.0 and Web 2.0 is so, to me, black and white. So Web, to me, and I could get the definition wrong here, Web 1.0 was very much HTML, just websites, just very basic, single color. You're pressing a button, you're performing a function. And then Web 2.0 is this very interactive social media. We have now given our data to the network. Web 3.0 will be, we're finally getting paid off the back of that.
Yeah. We're getting our dues.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, can you tell us a bit more about this Metaverse work then?
Yeah, I mean, to Andre's point, it is still a bit abstract. And if you see what's going on right now, I mean, you have the first traditional banks building a presence in the Metaverse. So JP Morgan is now in Decentraland, and HSBC has bought some virtual real estate. American Express is already securing IP.
It's crazy. It's definitely going, isn't it? It's definitely happening.
Yeah.
When it was first mentioned, everyone was like, you know, and
It's a small chuckle, isn't it, when you first hear about it?
I think was it Mark Zuckerberg obviously came out and done that interview, didn't he? And said that they're actually changing their name to Meta.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that was everyone was a little bit like, whoa.
It's a big star.
And then it's definitely happened. I mean, even that Snoop Dogg's got real estate on.
Snoop loves it all.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy, isn't it? Like, it's definitely happening. I feel like, but this is a question as well. How does your everyday consumer, say, your genuine hairdresser down the, like in the barbershop or in the hairdresser, how do they get into the Metaverse? What's their way in? Because it doesn't look like it's cheap.
No, sure.
It's I think that's your big advantage. So people would still have to come to you to get their hair cut. It's very difficult to do that in a virtual way, at least still. What they could do, however, is, I mean, they could take a look in a virtual mirror and try different things out, and then, you know, come to you and say, I would like to have that type of haircut because it looks good on me, and things like that. And you can do that already with when you're buying clothes or shoes. Glasses to try those on.
What I was saying, how does your normal consumer actually get into the Metaverse? How are they? What's their in point? Because at the moment it seems quite expensive.
And I think the barrier of entry is pretty high, if you will, because you have you typically need to have some type of crypto account in order to participate, at least in the more interesting content that's going on there. So that's a very good question. I think it would need to become more easy to use. The user experience itself is currently also, if you look at banking, it's not very exciting. I mean, if you go to the Onyx Lounge, it's called, of JP Morgan. It's basically you're back to the 80s, more or less, you know, in terms of the design and in terms of what's being offered. There's a couple of screens, and then you have this tiger bot running around.
I saw, yes.
Did you see that?
Yeah, for our viewers and for Andrew, there is a tiger that just mills about in this virtual bank branch. I don't know why you need one there. But,
so I don't think the experience right now is anything really valuable or useful to the customer. But if you fast forward a couple of years, I mean, today people hardly ever go to a bank branch, right?
A lot of shutting in general, aren't they? I know in my local hometown, I think there was 5 2 years ago, and now there's 1.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want to go. I have to go.
Exactly, and it's very expensive to keep those branches open. So for those that are still open. And there's a big opportunity for banks to reach their customers through this Metaverse experience, and to have that personal touch again, get back in touch with the customers. And I think that is really something that will take off over time eventually, and probably the fintechs are the first ones that are going to grab this opportunity.
That makes sense, doesn't it? Yeah.
To me, the in is going to be smart glasses. Because with smart glasses, you'll be able to see yourself with that haircut, through your glasses.
Right.
And then I'll just say to you, Andrew, this is what I want. Short back and sides. I saw it on a film.
Makes sense.
Yeah. I think that will be the real way in.
Yeah, I think that's quite good way of looking at it. We're basically just going to be living in Avatar, aren't we?
Pretty much.
In a few years, I think.
Yeah, let's see what that does to the travel industry, for example.
Yeah.
You know, it's like people can take vacations at home, staycations with VR goggles or with these glasses.
Isn't it?
So they'll be really interesting.
I mean, when the weather is like it is here at the London FinTech Week, I think we're about 36 degrees, 32 degrees
it
today.
reminds me of my time in Houston, Texas, actually.
Wow.
It was exactly the same weather.
London and Texas.
Yeah.
I didn't think we'd hear that in the same breath.
Incredible.
So speaking of FinTech Week London, what's brought G&D here? What's brought Rudy here?